And here he is. He's actually on the camera now. I tell you what, Twitter's doing that dodgy thing again, where my feed is perfect on Facebook. Twitter, it looks like it's a little bit mental, but it's actually perfect on Periscope, the actual app. I don't know if Twitter are having some issues with their servers when people are going live through those, but I'm going to jump into the actual app on Periscope because I think that's going to be a lot better. If you are struggling to watch over on Twitter, get yourself onto the Periscope app itself, download it onto your phone, or alternatively get yourself over to facebook.com/actonthisTV, and you can watch it on Facebook. I can see on my laptop here it's perfect, and I can also see from my app here the feed is perfect as well. So apologies for anybody on Twitter who's having a mental one. Hello, Julia. Hello, Lucy. Thank you for being here. So it's just great to be back, basically. Those listening on the audio experience, apologies that I've left you hanging for some audio for a few days. I was just saying to these guys before we started, it was a bank holiday on the Monday just gone here in the UK, so we didn't do a Periscope or a broadcast or a Facebook Live then. And last Wednesday, ended up in hospital with my mum. She's fine. It was a broken ankle type injury, but wasn't even broken in the end. But thank you so much for all those on the audio experience, again, who tweeted me, sent me emails. Everybody was just ridiculously supportive, and that's what I just love about this community so much. So massively appreciate you all. So tonight, guys, what we are doing is we're catching up on the book club, and this month I've got it in paperback form now. It's called You Are a Badass, How to Stop Doubting Your Greatness and Start Living an Awesome Life, by an author called Jen Sincero, who I'll put up on the screen now. She's a bit sassy. She's a bit of a badass herself. Look at her. She looks a little bit badass. Doesn't take any shit off anyone. But she's just like a no-nonsense thought leader, a no-nonsense author, motivational speaker, psychologist. Knows her shit, really qualified, but just says it as it is, as opposed to kind of like beating around the bush and kind of dressing stuff up in namby-pamby kind of language. It's just like, this is it, and you know, deal with it, basically. So I like it. It's nice. There's quite a bit of science behind a lot of the stuff that she talks about, which I like. However, tonight we're looking at, there's a chapter in the book that is nothing like the stuff that I normally read. It's not sciencey at all, because I'm like, I need proof of stuff. You know what I'm like? I don't like just telling people, oh, think everything's going to be great and it'll just be great. I can't just think, oh, I'd love a Ferrari, I want a Ferrari, and suddenly there's a Ferrari outside. It doesn't kind of work like that. However, Corey, how are we doing? Good to see you. However, tonight we're going to dive into a section, chapter 2 of the book, which is a little bit more what I would class woo-woo, but I've got to attack it with an open mind, and I want to have like an honest conversation with everyone here and everyone who's listening as well on the audio experience. Drop me a tweet once you've heard this and let me know what your thoughts are, because I don't think a lot of the time we really talk about our beliefs in broadcasts like this that aren't, you know, we talk about our belief system in terms of what we think is capable of and what we think we're not capable of, and how that's all been produced by limiting beliefs or empowering beliefs and previous experiences we've had as kids, and how that affects us as adults, and, you know, ultimately either cages us in or, you know, sets us free to go and get what we want. But we've not really spoken about our beliefs in terms of faith. And I'm not religious at all. I don't want to get all religion tonight. You know, I think at the moment, God, religion is causing enough troubles in the world. But there's elements of religion in this chapter, not particularly believing in one God or anything like that, but believing in something. And I just wondered, like, you know, what people on here kind of believe in, if you're happy to say. It doesn't have to be like our religion, our God, but, you know, a universe and a higher being, you know, a bigger energy source somewhere. I'm really spiritual, but I'm not religious. Alex is on Facebook. Good to see you, Alex. Thanks for being here. Alex is struggling with her internet connection. Alex, get the Periscope app or refresh the page on Facebook. I'm checking it out now. It is absolutely perfect on Facebook, and it is on Periscope as well. So if you're having issues, refresh the page, see if you can get connected to a different server. But yeah, what are people's beliefs in terms of faith and stuff? Because we were talking about, well, this chapter's called the G word, which obviously stands for God in this sense, but God doesn't have to be this almighty kind of, like, you know, being that makes you a Christian or makes you a Muslim or makes you a Sikh or a Buddhist or whatever. I'm spiritual. I believe in energy converting, says Caroline. It's just interesting, isn't it? Because I think our belief or our faith in something bigger than ourselves, and this is what I use it as. I'm like, you know what? There's some things in my life that I just can't explain with science, and I love to be able to prove stuff and tell people, if you do this, it should, almost formulaically equal this, so basically, patience plus hard work equals success. That's a formula for success in a nutshell. But there are things in my life, and there's been coincidences, and Albert Einstein says something like, coincidences is a way for God to stay anonymous, or I can't remember the exact quote, but it was something like that. It might even be in this book. And I just find it interesting because I feel if you have a belief in something greater than yourself, it can often be the fuel that drags you through the shit when things are going wrong. Particularly if your belief system away from your belief faith, can help you with that as well. But yeah, just interesting to we are the divine, says Fanny. Well, physics says, literally states that energy cannot be created or destroyed. It can merely be transformed from one form into another. Whether that's kinetic energy that moves into potential energy that moves into kinetic energy, etc., etc. You can't destroy energy. You can't create it. You can just transform it from one thing into another. So we must all effectively come from a finite energy source somewhere. And we've just been transformed for this little blip in time into these human beings. We live inside these vessels and hopefully make the most positive impact we can have whilst we're here. But it's interesting. So I'm going to start reading this chapter. Although I've got the hardback, you know what? I've been reading it, not the hardback, paperback. I've been reading it on my iPad. I normally hate Kindle because I'm like, I like to feel a physical book, but I'd love the way it's laid out this particular book is laid out on my Kindle, so I'm going to read it from here. So apologies if my head's down a little bit. I can't kind of balance it all out. But I'm going to be keeping an eye on the comments, keeping an eye on the comments here. And I'm going to be kind of reading off my iPad down here. So it's a recap for those who have just joined. The book is called You Are a Badass, and the subtitle is How to Stop Doubting Your Greatness. It's a great word, greatness. We've all got it. As Will Smith says, greatness is not esoteric. It's not reserved for the few. Everyone's got fucking greatness inside of them. So yeah, how to stop doubting your greatness and start living an awesome life. Would highly recommend it, and particularly on Kindle because it was about £1. It was about 99p on Kindle. The paperback it says $9.99 on the back, but I'm sure I paid $6.99 off Amazon. Something like that. So it starts off, it says chapter 2, the G word, okay? It says, if you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. And that was a quote by Nikola Tesla, an inventor, physicist. Effectively, he was a super genius. Tesla invented the alternating current as we know it. So electricity as we know it today. AC, you might have heard of AC, DC. AC, alternating current, effectively like electricity as we know it today. That's why Elon Musk named his electric car Tesla, because of Tesla. He was like the geezer who invented electricity. Well, not invented electricity, but in the form that we know it today. So yeah, if you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. So Jen starts off, she says, when I lived in Albuquerque, New Mexico, my friends and I used to hang out at this Western bar called Midnight Rodeo. Sounds amazing. It was the kind of place that had curling irons and hairspray in the women's bathroom, Bud Light on permanent special for $2 a can, a solid oak dance floor the size of a cornfield. We were all from the East Coast and we were too cool for country music, so at first we just go to snootily make fun of it all. Taking great pride in being the first to spot a particularly gigantic belt buckle or a cowboy sporting one of them handlebar moustaches big enough to cover 5 upper lips. But our favourite part was the line dancing. We'd stare, mesmerised by the giant choreographed mass of Garth Brooks fans stomping around in synchronised woo-hooery with their thumbs purposely tucked into the front pockets of their jeans. Anyone done line dancing? I've never done line dancing in my life. But I like a little bit of woohooery. She says, it was hilarious that we hilarious that we started to join in ourselves. Waving from the middle of the sea of cowboy hats to our friends, watch this! Then we'd stay on the floor for the next song just to try and get that part down where you click your heels right before the spin. Then we found ourselves sneaking off every weekend to merrily line dance our little achy breaky hearts out. So she's kind of become addicted to this thing she was initially taking the piss out of. He says this is the same sort of way that the God thing happened for me. It started out with much snarkiness and eye rolling, but I was so broke and clueless and sick of being such a weenie about really going for it in my life that I was open to suggestions, which is why when I started reading books on finding your calling and making money and getting over yourself already, and they all had this spiritual side to them, I didn't toss them in the goodwill pile with my usual "this God spirituality crap is for suckers" attitude. Instead, I decided to give good old God a chance because I had nothing to lose, literally. And lo and behold, some of it was totally idiotic. So I started reading more about it. Then I started studying it. Then I started putting it into practice. What's that bit about idiotic? Have I read that wrong? Instead, I decided to give good old God a chance because I had nothing to lose. Literally. And lo and behold, some of it wasn't totally idiotic. I was like, what? Some of it wasn't totally idiotic. So I started reading more about it. Then I started studying it. Then I started putting it into practice. Then I noticed how much better it made me feel. Then I started believing it. Then I noticed all these awesome shifts starting to happen in my life. Then I became obsessed with it. Then I started loving it. Then I started radically changing my life with it. Then I started teaching it. Now I'm basically riding the mechanical bull about it, punching my fist in the air and hollering to the guy manning the controls, "Hit it, Wayne." Just saying God's call Wayne. So this is her take on it. Basically, she initially ridiculed something. She then had a look at it with an open mind because she basically was just broke and hit rock bottom. She looks at it, realised not all of it was idiotic, took some of it on board, started to see change, got more and more into it, saw more change, and then eventually got to the point where she's like living it full time. That for me was very much not God for me, was very much personal development. 100% in terms of looking at the science of success, what makes people successful, reverse engineering it, breaking it down, and doing it myself, then getting to the point where I can then pass it on to other people, which is what I do on these broadcasts. So she says, wherever you happen to stand on the God issue, let me say that this whole improving your life thing is going to be a lot easier if you have an open mind about it. Call it whatever you want: God, Goddess, the big guy, the universe, source energy, higher power, the grand poobah, gut, intuition, spirit, the force, the zone, the Lord, the vortex, the mother lode. It doesn't matter personally. She says, I find the God word to be a tad too loaded, so I prefer to call it source energy. The universe, the vortex, spirit, the mother lode, all of which I use interchangeably throughout this book for your information. Whatever you choose to call it isn't important. What is important is that you start to develop an awareness of and a relationship with the source energy that's surrounding you and within you, which is all the same energy and which will be your best pal ever if you give it a chance. Because here's the thing. All of us are connected to this limitless power, and most of us aren't using but a fraction of it. Who agrees so far? Like I say, this is a little bit more out there woo-woo for me, but give me some thoughts of what you believe in personally. Do you believe in this, higher energy source we're all a part of? Fanny says no idea, but that's cool. It is cool. I think it is cool, and I'm going to have a more open mind to this kind of stuff, because there have been, I've said this many times, there have definitely been things in my life that I just haven't been able to explain with science. I really haven't. I haven't been able to explain formulaically or how things came about. And literally, if I'd have been 3 seconds later, that wouldn't have happened. So is it coincidence? Was I supposed to be there? Is there some kind of divine intervention somewhere? I'm very open-minded. I'm very fond Stephen, you're so ridiculously random. I thought you were going to actually say a normal comment for once, and I'm not going to read it because it wasn't normal. Those in the audio experience, apologies for Stig Idwaney. He is mental, but I do think he's going to be on the telly soon. I'm psychic, says Caroline. Caroline, tell me, are you? How are you psychic? Because I believe, my mum used to see a clairvoyant, Some of the stuff she used to come out with, I was literally amazed by, in terms of, it wasn't just general specific stuff. She would say, I see, you're going to get a locket, and I see a little boy's face in a locket. And she didn't tell anyone. I mean, this was just one example. And completely out of the blue, about a month later, one of her friends she hadn't seen in years bought her, for her birthday, a locket with a photograph of either me or my brother in it. I don't get it. There was things that as specific as that kind of this guy was saying, that blew my mind. So I kind of, I do I kind of believe in all that kind of stuff as well. My dreams often happen in reality, says Sam. Yeah, that's another. I've experienced that as well, Sam. Definitely. I believe putting out good in the world with no expectation will lead to good coming back to you, says Tony. I'm big with you on that one, big time, Tony. Definitely, it is interesting. There are definitely things that I'm just like, as much as I want to explain it away with science, I'm just like, I just don't understand how that came about, or meeting that person, that 1 in 7.5 billion chance. Literally, I had a crossing paths with that person, changed my life forever, and if I'd have been 10 seconds later, I would never have met them. What would have happened otherwise? That whole sliding door things, it's interesting, isn't it? And yeah, and your gut as well. Caroline says it's your gut, it's instinct. Yeah, I think following your intuition, it's a massive thing, and it's almost sometimes that you just, your heart always kind of already knows what's going to happen sometimes before it does. But luckily, Caroline says she doesn't see dead people. Well, that's nice, Caroline. So Jen goes on in the book and says, our energy is taking a joyride in these bodies of ours, learning, growing, and evolving along the way. One would hope anyway. I suppose numbing, shrinking, and moving back in with our parents is also an option. So sometimes you don't grow through your body if you choose to do that, until our corporal journey comes to an end and we move on. So we've got these bodies, obviously, till it's time for us to go. Thanks for the lift, she says. This realization that we're made up of and connected to source energy made me want to have a deeper understanding of spirituality so I could make my physical experience as awesome as possible. And let me tell you, ever since I got into it, it has been awesome, awesomeness maximus, she says. When I'm connected with source energy and in the flow, I'm so much more powerful, so much more in tune to my physical world and the world beyond, and just so much happier in general. And the more I meditate and the more attention I give to this relationship with my invisible superpower, the more effortlessly I can manifest the things I want in my life, and do it with such specificity and at such a rapid rate that it makes my hair stand up. It's like I've finally figured out how to make my magic wand work. If loving spirit is wrong, I don't want to be right. Okay, so here is the foundation, she says, for all the work we're about to do together on your life. So this is the foundation for the rest of this book. The universe is made up of source energy, Jen says. All energy vibrates at a certain frequency, which means you're vibrating at a certain frequency, and everything you desire and don't desire is also vibrating at a certain frequency. I've heard even some of the top scientists in the world talk about this. This is why when I read that part of the book, I thought, I'm not going to write this off as woo-woo nonsense. I'm going to give it a go. Vibration attracts like vibration. I'd like to have a drink with her. She does sound rad. Who's that, Dawn? It's Jen. I see static energy all the time, says Caroline. As long as you're seeing static energy and not dead people, Caroline, I think that's probably like a better trade-off. A better trade-off, really. Yeah, who buys into that then? Basically, energy is of a vibration, is of a frequency, and like attracts like. I can get my head around that. I think that's pretty... Oh, it's Evan. All right, Evan. Then I thought you've got the same colour avatar as Dawn. That's why I called you Dawn then. Sorry, Evan. Fanny says, yes, of course, no question. Was that answering this, Fanny? And Caroline goes out to the beach a lot. What's that? To wash away the static energy, Caroline? If I may be serious, I believe that everyone has their own path, says Bobby. You can be as serious as you want, Bobby. But yeah, I definitely, I completely buy into that like attracts like. That's why what Tony said before I buy into as well. Basically, you put good out into the world, you're going to show up differently. People are going to react to you differently. The likelihood that good is going to be attracted to you is far higher, I believe, if you are getting up every day, showing up and putting out good into the world. Whether that's because that good is of a certain vibration and it's attracting another good of a certain vibration, I'm open to, definitely. So he says, otherwise, okay, so this vibration attracts in like vibration, she says, is otherwise known as the law of attraction. The basic idea of law of attraction is focus on that which makes you feel good, and ye shall find / attract that which makes you feel good. So focus on what you want, and you will get what you want. Ultimately, and I can buy into that in a part of our brain called the reticular activating system. It's a filter in our brain that basically helps us focus on what we want, thus we see more opportunities to get it. That again can be backed by science. Equally, if you're focusing on all the rubbish in your life and all the problems you've got, you're going to actually get more of them because that's all you're focusing on. You're not focusing on any solutions, you're just focusing on the problems. So she says, we're all attracting energy to ourselves all the time, whether we realize it or not. And when we're vibrating at a low frequency and we're feeling pessimistic, needy, or victimized, jealous, shameful, worried, convinced we're ugly, yet expect high frequency, awesome things and experiences to come into our lives, we're often disappointed. You must have met people like that. People tell me all the time. I get it all the time from people in the acting industry. Oh, I'm just born for this. Like, this is all I've ever wanted to do. I can't see myself doing anything else. All I can do is act. It's the only thing I'm good at. I want it more than anything else in the world. And then I look at their life and I'm like, well, what are you doing about it? B, are you taking action? C, do you really believe you can actually do anything about that and have the success that you're telling me you want? And D, it seems to me a lot of the time that you're focusing on how unfair the industry is in your eyes, how everyone else having more opportunity than you. You're focusing on everything you don't want. So your vibration is definitely going to be pessimistic and down and victimized and downtrodden. So therefore, I don't think you're going to attract any opportunity into your life. At all, I see that a lot, like more than not. I meet more actors who are doing that than are actually believing they can achieve things, thus taking the action congruent with their beliefs and getting the results that they want. So if you are ultimately a moaner, a negative Nancy, or whatever you want to call it, it's kind of like it's all your own fault that you're attracting all the shit you don't want in your life. Carly says, totally agree. I completely agree. See people with chips on their shoulders about everything. And the people who don't have chips on their shoulders are generally doing way more and having way more success than the people who are carrying around that black cloud over their head all the time. Jen says, you need to raise your frequency to match the vibration of the one you want to tune into. And she's got an example here of a radio. She said it's like trying to listen to a certain radio station, but tuning in at the wrong frequency. Okay, so if you have a hot and sexy day and you want to listen to 105.9 FM, slow jams, or whatever you have in your area, but you set your dial to 89.9 FM National Public Radio, then you're not only going to be slow jamless, because you listen to the wrong station, but you're more likely to attract a discussion about immigration laws in the US instead of attracting a relaxed and candlelit body that's in the mood for love. I think that's a really easy to understand example. Effectively, you're saying you want this outcome, but actually all you're doing is tuning into all of the shit and the negative things in the world. Thus, you're never really going to get that outcome because actually all you're doing... This is why I tell people not to watch the news. Have a news blackout. It just sets you up for the worst day ever. Literally, you will just be worried about every single thing in the world. People literally, this is people's lives. They wake up in the morning, they reach under the pillow, they get their phone and they scroll down the BBC News or Sky News or whatever it is. And they're hit with 17 to 1 negative to positive news articles. You'll hit 17 negative news articles for every one positive one published because negative news sells more. So you're being hit with 17 negative things up on waking when your body doesn't feel at its best anyway. So no wonder people want to turn over, put the covers over their head and go back to sleep. It's really, really bad. Don't do that. So she says the universe will match whatever vibration you put out, and you can't fool the universe. Tony hates the news. I hate it as well, mate. It's nonsense. So you can't fool the universe, which is why you're vibrating at a high when you're vibrating at a high frequency, awesome things seem to flow to you effortlessly, and you seem to stumble over the perfect people and opportunities all the time, and vice versa. As Albert Einstein observed, coincidence is God's way of remaining anonymous. And that's a lovely quote, isn't it? And whatever God is for you, doesn't have to be literally a religion. It can be anything, just whatever you think your maker is. Definitely. Coincidence is God's way of remaining anonymous. I love that. I think that's really nice. So yeah, ultimately, because I've had that. That's what I was talking about before. I was saying there's been coincidences I can't explain. There have been successes in my life that have been effortless. And it's all been around times where I've been fulfilled anyway. And it's happening right now. I mean, I'm at a point, I don't think I've really been more fulfilled in my life, or more stable, or just more kind of right now knowing what I want from my life and having the patience to go, you know what, it'll all play out in the end. I don't worry about like how it's going to end anymore, or, you know, at what point I'm going to have what role on TV, or whether I'll ever get this or ever get that. I'm just really enjoying the process. I've just learned to fall in love with that. And almost overnight, when you realize that you can fall in love with the process, all the stress goes about the end game and that finite goal. And it all just becomes a lot easier. And honest to God, I've had more success this year. And on all fronts, it depends what you kind of measure in success as, really. But in like, you know, like if we just do it on the most basic level in terms of, I would never measure success from money, but not stressing about work and stuff this year and just being very positive and putting myself out there. I've earned more already by August from my acting and voiceover work than I earned the entire year last year from April to April. And we've still got 7 months left of the year. And that's because last year I was way more kind of like strung up about credits or getting this or getting that, and or, you know, focusing on the fact that people were telling me that the industry was quiet, that the voiceover industry, that money was coming out of advertising, all of this stuff. And I was focused on the struggle of how hard certain areas of my life were, as opposed to going, what's going to be is just going to be. Let's just roll with it. And now things are way more effortless this year, which is nice. And that maybe, I don't know, maybe I'm emitting a higher frequency. I've no idea. Sounds like someone deserves a trip to the States, says Tony. Tony, mate, I would love it. I'm definitely 100% going to come over to America at some point. I don't know what state or where, but there's quite a lot of conferences in the States that I really want to visit, mate. There's a few in LA, there's a couple in San Diego, there's one in Ohio. I don't even know where that is. I would love to go to a few. Yeah, definitely. New York. Someone said come to New York. New York's probably, outside of the UK, my favourite city in the world. I've only been once. I just love it. I love the fact you can just get a camera out in New York, film anything, and it looks amazing. Like, if you did a vlog in New York, you get the most basic equipment out, just basically turn the camera out yourself, and it all just looks incredible. I'm like, just looks like I'm in a film. I just want to, I would love to, one day, you know, have a little place out in New York. It's only, what is it, like a 7-hour flight from the UK? Jump on a plane, pop over for the weekend. I love it. Yeah, honestly, what a great place to live. That's awesome. Definitely. Let me know if it's a personal development conference. I might be up for travel. Tony, it is. So, hi. So basically, a friend of mine, Lewis Howes, he does something called the Summit of Greatness every year, and he's just brought out, he published a book last year called The School of Greatness. There's a great podcast called The School of Greatness. And I supported him on a book launch last year or the year before called The School of Greatness, and he's just doing a brand new book called The Mask of Masculinity, about how men are kind of conditioned and taught not to show any emotions and to wear these certain masks at different times in their life. And he's just sending me a pre-release copy of that, because we're going to do that on the book club later. I listen to him every morning, says Tony. Lewis is an awesome guy, man. Yeah, so for those... In fact, there's a pre-release copy of School of Greatness. That was before the actual book came out. There we go. Look at that. He signed it there, Tony. Boom. What's he said? Ross, thanks for all your support, my man. Keep being great. Cheers, Lewis. But yeah, this new book that he's doing comes out, I think it's September or October. And he does a conference, in Ohio, because that's where he's from initially, I think, every year. I can't get to it this year, but next year, Tony, if you're down, man, we'll get early bird tickets. Early bird tickets are like super cheap. Normally, like it's $1,000 or something like that right now if you book just before the event. I think the early bird tickets go on sale for like $299 or something like that. And he has some incredible guests. Got some great guests this year. So we should all get out there next year and go and see Lewis. Anyway, back to this. So it says, so basically, once you gain good old awareness, once again, good old awareness is the key to freedom, okay? Once you realize that you can dramatically improve your situation by connecting with source energy and raising your frequency, you can freaking do it already, she says. I'll show you exactly how later. And instead of opting to stay in the suck hole and feeling like a victim of pathetic circumstances, such as She says microwaving ramen in its styrofoam cup. I don't even know what that is for dinner. What's ramen? Ramen must be like a not a very nice dinner. Basically, she says, or working for someone who makes your skin crawl. You can raise your frequency and get yourself out of that. In order to truly raise your vibration, you've got to believe that everything you want is available to you. And again, this comes back into my coaching, which is literally the belief in your potential. Everything you want is available to you guys. Like, it really, really is. And the best way to keep this belief strong is by staying connected to source energy. Is it noodles? Ramen is noodles. Instant noodles. Maybe it's an American thing then, isn't it? Because we don't have that. I've never heard of that in the UK. But yeah, so basically she's saying instead of staying in that low vibration situation where you're working with people who make your skin crawl and you're having microwave noodles for dinner, you can raise your vibration up and get yourself out. They sell it in the UK, so it's funny. I've never heard of that. We have super noodles here, which are an incredible meal if you're a student. They're about 20p. Ethan's here. How are you doing? Good to see you on the broadcast. So she says it's like when you're surrounded by the big all-you-can-eat buffet of incredible experiences and insights and feelings and opportunities and things and people and ways to share our gifts with the world. And all we have to do is align our energy with what we want and take decisive action to allow this good into our lives. And this decisive action part is key. Sadly, we can't just float around our neighbour's pool on a raft with cup holders, sipping cocktails and being all high frequency while waiting for unicorns to fly down from the sky. We have to take action. I'm so glad you said that. Hell-bent for glory kind of action. This is what I coach so many people on. Again, this all ties in with everything I do. Basically, massive belief in your potential, that what you want is out there and you can get it. And seriously, anyone listening to this on the audio experience as well, and you're like, maybe a lot of people listen to this at the start of the day or when they're in the gym and that kind of thing. And just everyone in here tonight, you've got to believe that everything you want from this world is available to you. Like, full stop. You must believe that. And I mean that from everything in your career to what you want in your physicality, in your relationships, in your spirituality, in your finances. Because it really is. It really, really is. But the only reason it's not in your life now is because you don't believe enough that you can get it. Thus, you are not taking that hell-bent action to get it because you have the belief that you're probably going to fail, or it's too hard, or people will say no, or you'll get hurt, or you'll waste time. That time is going to pass anyway. I hope anyway, otherwise you've snuffed it. But, then I know that for me, the next, fingers crossed, 65 years are going to pass anyway. I can spend that time believing that I can't do what I want to do, and let that time pass anyway, or I can spend that time believing I can have anything I want from my life. I can go out and make it happen. And if I don't make it happen, at least I've had the experience and hopefully, I fell in love with the process. Thus, I've already won. The game is already rigged because I get up every day and I get to do what I want to do. Just rigged, isn't it? I mean, literally, you've already won without having the thing that you feel you need in your life to be complete. If you can fall in love with the process, get up every day, and and get yourself out on that path to obtaining it and enjoying that. So Jen says the trick is to have both parts, energy and action, working in unison. Unless your energy is lined up properly with that which you desire, really desire, any action you take is going to require way more effort to get to where you want to go. If it gets you there at all, that is. So once in a while, you may get lucky doing one without the other. But if you get very clear on what you truly want rather than what you think you should want, believe that it's available to you regardless of your present circumstances by staying connected to source energy and keeping your frequency high, and you take decisive action, you will eventually succeed. And again, I buy into all of this. She's just basically stating what I really focus on, but just attaching this source energy kind of, rather than, for me, what I would call belief in my potential. She's, belief in a higher source that, you're connected to and can thus take energy from. So she said, have you ever had a dream where you're flying and you're having such a blast, but then you realise, hey, wait a minute, I'm flying, I can't fly, and then you come crashing back down to the ground and you can't get yourself back up again, no matter what you try. This is the way beliefs work. Anyone had that? I've definitely had dreams where I've been flying a bit, but I generally wake up. Who's had the dream where you're falling and you literally, as you hit the ground, feel like you've jumped 3 feet off the bed? Or you trip over something. I used to have this dream where I would trip over my dog. And as I tripped up, I would literally leap. I felt like I was leaping 2 or 3 feet out of my bed as I fell over. Bit mental. Caroline says she does. I have flying dreams, but airplane flying. Ah, okay. The fox. What's your real name? The fox is Evan, isn't it? All the avatars are looking different colours tonight, so people's usual colours. But yeah, so yeah, aeroplane. That must mean something as well. I guess dream analysis is an interesting one, isn't it? As well. Had the reverse where I know I can fly, but can't remember how to do it. Says Sam. Bloody hell! I dream I can fly. Says Carly. My mum dreams with vision. She can't see. Crazy, isn't it? But she dreams. She can see everything in her dreams. She'll wake up and she'll describe things to me. I was walking down the street and I saw she had a dream. She was like walking down the street and there was this baby in a yellow bobble hat driving a go-kart. I'm like, right, Mum, you've had enough painkillers for that broken ankle. You're going off your head. R. Kelly believed he could fly, to be fair. He did, and he's an interesting fella. Little bit dodgy, I think, R. Kelly, but he did have a good voice back in the day. I dream in colour, says Caroline. As in what, energy things, or do you mean you just can't see colour in real life and you dream in colour? Evan, my mum is fine, thank you very much. She's awesome. Yep, thanks so much for all the kind wishes, everybody. So yeah, but it's great, isn't it? And there's people who have lost the ability to walk or have never walked, and they can walk in their dreams. That's incredible in itself. Or run, or that kind of thing. I've had that dream before where I'm running and then it's like I'm running and I'm running and I'm running, but I'm going nowhere. I'm on the spot. It's like literally treacle. I can't move. It's like I'm running through water and someone's chasing me. Dreams are incredible, aren't they? But yeah, so back to this. We got onto dreams there. So she says, even if it seems impossible, you've got to have the faith anyway. And the second you stop believing, you pop the bubble and stop attracting the magic in your life. So even if you think, you know what, this is a dream that's way, way, way into my discomfort zone, you've got to believe that it's still possible. Because ultimately, you know what, the potential of man and the possibility that, you know, men can do things, and I mean that as in men and women, not man, has been questions throughout history. And like, you know, things are only impossible until they're done, and then suddenly the minute someone does it, dozens and dozens and dozens of people do it within weeks of that thing happening, whether that's like, you know, a world record in something, or when Roger Bannister broke the 4-minute mile, people thought it wasn't possible before that, so they never even tried, and then when he did it, about 32 other people did it that year, this thing that had previously been impossible according to people's beliefs. Had Roger not thought, I can do this, it would never happen, and maybe today it was still no one would have really cracked it or tried it. So Jen finishes by saying the Force is with you. All right, bit of Star Wars there. Says this isn't just about believing and being all high vibe when the sun is out and the bunnies are hopping around either. This is about believing even when things are at their most uncertain or absolute crappiest. And you've got to believe that there is a bright, shiny flip side within your reach. As French author and fearless truth seeker André Gide so aptly put it, one does not discover new lands without consenting to lose sight of the shore for a very long time. I'll read that again because that's topping it. One does not discover new lands without consenting to lose sight of the shore for a very long time. This is about believing that we live in a loving, kind, and abundant universe instead of one that's petty, mean, and like other people, and it likes other people more than it likes you. This is about your faith being greater than your fear. Your faith has to be greater than your fear. And as Evan said, that's awesome. I think it's great, innit? I like that quote, definitely. One does not discover new lands without consenting to lose sight of the shore for a very long time. And that's where that chapter kind of finishes. I mean, it's a pretty short chapter, but it just introduced concepts to me that I would never normally buy into in terms of frequencies and woo-woo and vibrations and that kind of stuff. But from a physics level, when I've done a bit more research on this, it it makes sense on a scientific level in terms of, energy sources. And like I said before, the fact that energy can't be created or destroyed, it can merely be, transformed and changed from one form to another. So ultimately, if you believe in physics and science, then we do absolutely all come from a finite source of energy or a greater source of energy. What that is for you is up to you, whether that's a god or an energy source somewhere or the universe as a whole. But I think, being aware of that and then using that almost as fuel to go, you know what, I kind of, even if I'm feeling like shit, I'm still part of something way bigger than me. And I can draw ultimately from the success of everybody and go, well, you know what, if anyone's having success, part of it's mine anyway, because we're all from the same thing. And it should just, hopefully it can just lift you a little bit. But like I said, there's definitely things where I have been unable to explain how things have came about, and they've generally happened when I'm in a happier place anyway. So when I am going to be, according to this, vibrating at a higher level, better things have happened in my life. And this is why you'll see people in your life who you think are lucky all the time, or you're like, you know what, I don't understand. Like, he's rich and he's now getting even richer, or he's had that success, he's now having even more success. I don't think they're lucky. I think they're tapping into something that maybe they're not even aware of. But it's the success cycle kicking in that I coach a lot of people on, and that's belief in your potential. And when it's big, you take big action, you get great results, and that feeds back into your beliefs. So next time you feel you've got more potential, and as Fanny says there, it's why the rich get richer. It is why the rich get richer, but it's also why the poor get poorer. And why unsuccessful people become more and more unsuccessful and bitter and twisted, and then they pass that negativity on to their friends and their family, and they bring everybody around them down, because their energy that is of a low vibration is attracting even more misery. Misery attracts misery, doesn't it? That's what they say. Misery likes misery. I think that's very, very true, without a doubt. So it's just something to think about for this week. Ultimately, what vibration do you think you're putting out right now? In fact, give me some. If you had to mark yourself, on your vibration, 0 being like very negative right now, to 10 being like super super positive, inspiring, and kind of like being of like the highest vibration. Where would you pitch yourself? I reckon I'd put myself at about, honestly, I think I've always got much more to do, but I think like recently I definitely put myself at like, I'd go for about a 7 or 8. I think I could be even more positive. 6, 7, I'm getting there, says Evan. We're not talking about Ann Summers and that kind of vibration, Steve. I knew you'd make it vulgar. Bobby's going for an 8. I have my bad days, but I keep it high. About an 8 for Carly. Maybe I'm being harsh on myself. It's like when Oprah Winfrey was asked, she went on a scale of like 1 to 10 of how much you're using your potential right now, billionaire Oprah, what would you give yourself? She gave herself a 2. Like, Oprah, you're a bloody billionaire, love. But she said, listen, the reason why I gave myself a 2 is because I feel with all of my money, I could be making a greater impact in the world. So she feels she's always got somewhere to go. I think anybody who marks themselves a 10 out of 10 on something is lying, because I think you've always got room for improvement, definitely. But yeah, I would go. Don't know, maybe I'm being a bit harsh on myself. I like to think of about a 7, because then I feel I've got like a lot more to give out. Definitely. But yeah, just be aware this week what you think, what energy you think you're putting out, and then also be observant of how other people are showing up around you as well. Because I've noticed, definitely, and I said this before, this is often how I book acting work. When I go into the room, not all jazz hands and woo loud and that, but if I go in very positively, and I consciously charge up those people in the room, I think very often I book gigs off the back of that. And the note back to my agent always is, wow, like, so positive. Forgot what a joy, he was to be around. And I'm like, well, no, don't forget that. But it's because I always like to leave people in a better state than I found them. That's like kind of like my mantra for everything in life. Sam says, Rosh, you'd be a 9, surely. Honestly, Sam, if I felt I was a 9, I feel like well, that's it. How much further have I got? Another 10% to go and I'm done. I just don't think I wouldn't want to put myself ever at a 9 because I'd feel that I'd already done my job and I'm 35 years old. I'd like to just basically go, right, I've got a shitload of time left on the earth. Let's go a lot. Let's go a lot further with what we've got. I think I just saw a high from Saudi Arabia. Incredible. Saudi Arabia in the house. I once scored very well in an audition when I brought a prop gun for them to play with, says Bobby. I once saw a guy get a job, Bobby, in a really high-paying advert, actually, because he turned up to the audition in chainmail armour, and it was a medieval-style spoof advert, and they went, actually, you know what, we'll give you the job, but please bring the armour, because it cost us a fortune to rent. So sometimes, that works. Show up, give them something, and there you go. But yeah, no, I feel, I don't know, I wouldn't want to give myself, or maybe I don't know, I don't want to give myself big high marks for anything really, because I'm solid on a 7 is a first at university level. 70% will get you a first. So don't think 7 out of 10 is bad, guys. A first is very difficult to get at uni. Definitely. But yeah, just think about what you're putting out right now. Be observant of what you're getting back, and then think, you know what, if I showed up at a higher vibration, a higher frequency, I was more positive, would I see better results? Because I'm pretty sure you would. I want to do a little bit before we go, guys. I want to do a little bit of housekeeping, because tomorrow night here in the UK, or for you, Tony, and those in the States or in Saudi Arabia, no idea what time it is. But I'm going to be live at 7:30 p.m. over on actonthis.tv /live-premium, because this is a premium event for premium members on Act on This. I'm going to be live with Daniel Edwards, who's one of the UK's biggest casting directors. He casts things like Line of Duty with Kate Rose James. He casts Mr. Selfridge, Ripper Street, a big drama we can't really talk about right now for a huge network that you might give a bit of insight in tomorrow. And it's basically a completely live, interactive Q&A. So it's not an interview. It will only work if people show up and actually attend and ask their casting questions. This is literally like, not once in a lifetime, but a very rare opportunity for you to literally personally ask and get advice from on your acting career. You can get this advice from one of the guys working at the very, very, very top of the UK industry. I mean, like, you don't get casting directors really bigger than this guy in terms of the stuff that he casts. He's super honest. He's super supportive. You can basically jump into the chat. There's a little text chat. You can ask your questions live. You'll see me. You'll hear Daniel. He'll be dialing in because he doesn't like to be on camera. And he will answer questions for you on anything to do with your acting career, the acting industry, the casting process, how you can be seen more, what you can do to get more auditions, anything you want. If you want to find out more and you want to be a part of that, if you go to actonthis.tv, on the homepage you'll see a little post there that says live broadcast with Ripper Street casting director Daniel Edwards. Go into that and it'll tell you how you can join live. You must have a premium membership. If you've got a free membership, just log in. You can upgrade from the members area. It's just 10 quid a month. Or if you pay for a year up front, it's 90 quid. That works out like £7 a month. It's literally the best investment you could ever make in your acting career. You won't get events like this anywhere else, as honest info anywhere else. And literally for that 10 quid a month, I mean, what is that really in the UK? It's like, I think, what's minimum wage? £7.50? So it's like, basically, if you're not prepared to work for 1 hour and 15 minutes, even if you've got a job on minimum wage, to invest that in your acting career, you've lost already, basically. In my opinion, because I think people will spend 10 quid a month on shit, on coffee, on 3 pints at the pub, on a steak, bacon, a donut from Greg's, or whatever it is. Seriously, I get people all the time going, "Oh, I don't know if I can, if I could handle the subscription." What is £10? You're not prepared to put £10 a month, and also, guys, the £10, a lot of it goes to charity. So Daniel Edwards gets a charity donation tomorrow night to Crisis, the homeless charity. So it's like a real force for good. I don't pocket. I literally make nothing out of that. So this, to be completely transparent and upfront with you, zero. It's cost me double digits over the years that it's ran. It still owes me about £18,000. So it purely is just for people to. It's for the greater good. You'll help me, help you, help other people, and then we all build this awesome community together. So yeah, if you're listening on the audio experience, that's effectively, this will go out tomorrow morning. So this is actually going to be like tonight. If you're listening to this on Thursday the 31st of August 2017, it's going to be happening 7:30 p.m. over on actonthis.tv. Be there. It's going to be awesome. I just sent the invites out to the premium members on the email list, and if you're a free member, you will have got an email as well, telling you how to upgrade if you want to join us. But we'll be great to see you. We're going to be live for about, I don't know, I'd say normally like an hour, these Q&As, but the last time me and Daniel did a podcast together that you can listen to on actonthis.tv as well, it was 2.5 hours. It's the only podcast I ever had to split into 2 sections for people to listen to. So like, they're not going to sit through and listen to this all at once, Daniel. I'm going to do it like an hour and a quarter. So you can go and listen to that on the site as well, and along with another 150 plus hours, probably getting over 200 hours worth of premium content now, and over 400 hours worth of content in general on the site, where you can listen to and watch to get yourself much further in your career, much faster. There's so much great information on there, direct from the horses' mouths. Not that casting directors are horses, but it's literally like, people email me all the time going, what should I write in an email to this casting director? I'm like, go onto the website, listen to the podcast, and surprise, surprise, that person will actually tell you what to write to them in your email, and they'll even give you ideas for subject lines of your email. It's like, I can't do any more for you. I've given it you all. I can't come out your house and write the email for you. If you just listen to the stuff that's on there, you'll win. You'll have more success like in the next 6 months than you probably had in the last 6 years if you just consume the content that is on the website. And there's going to be more tomorrow night. So yeah, do join us for that. Would love to see you there. Go and if you're going to get a premium membership, do it tonight or before tomorrow night. Don't wait and get stuck with technology or anything like that. It's all very, very straightforward and easy. But don't leave it to the last minute, because I'm not going to be on hand to help people get signed up, because I'm going to be doing the broadcast. So please do that within plenty of time. And if you do need help, email me, just email actually help@actonthis.tv in plenty of time, and we'll get you set up with a premium membership. And make sure if you have got a free membership, you log in first before buying a premium membership, so it upgrades your current membership. Not what a lot of people do is buy a new one and then log into their existing account and go, it's not upgrading my account. No, it hasn't, because you didn't log into your account before you bought a premium account, and the server can't read your mind. So Fanny says it's not about. So no. So Fanny, these Q&As are going to be all for premium members only. It's just a way now for me to give more. I wanted to give premium members even more. Basically, it's not that they deserve more because they're paying something, but I feel if you are contributing and putting skin in the game, then you ultimately, you do kind of deserve more from the service, because you are helping me pay for putting it together effectively. So the money that I get from the premium memberships, it fuels the charities, but it also pays for the website effectively to run. You wouldn't believe the cost of a website that size to actually run. The server itself, just before anything, literally just to host it, is 180 quid a month. Literally just that. And people say, oh, but I can get hosting for $2.99. Yeah, you can for your 3-page website, but you get a website that's got high traffic and 4,000 plus pages on it, you need a lot more than that. So it's completely for premium members only. The Q&A tomorrow night, the replay will be for premium members only, and I'm going to do one of these every single month for premium members only. Basically, just to give, I think if you're paying, you get more. That's just the way the world works. So yeah, if you want to get, someone just asked me for the web address for that. So if you just go to actonthis.tv, Evan, I think it was you, and then if you have a look in the top menu, if you've not already got an account, you'll see a little thing that says sign up. Click on that, and then it'll show you either a free account, a premium account you pay monthly, or a premium account you pay yearly. It's 10 quid a month or £90 for the year, so it's much cheaper if you pay a year up front. And you can get your membership direct there. If you've already got a free membership, just log in. And log into your free account, and you'll see straight away the first page it takes you to is the members area. Within the members area itself will be a little button that says make me premium, and you click on that, and again you select whether you want monthly or yearly, and then it will upgrade your existing free account. If you've got a free account, you just go and buy a premium one straight away. It thinks you want a new one, and it won't upgrade your existing account, in which case people email me and I have to kind of upgrade their existing account manually. And I can do that, no problem, if people make a mistake. But yeah, it's a bit easier if you log in first. and then upgrade your existing account. Or if you've not got an account at all, just go straight for a premium one. But yeah, appreciate you guys. It's going to be awesome tomorrow night. Really look forward. Daniel is hilarious. The guy is absolutely off his head. It's insane. Caroline's make me premium, Ross. Caroline, just log in, and you'll see a button in there. It's a purple button. You might have to scroll down a bit if you're on mobile. It'll tell you how long you've been a member for. It'll tell you what current membership you have. And then it'll give you a little button. If you're not premium, you can just click on that and go through to the premium options. So appreciate you guys. Thank you. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow night. I'm going to be putting some more audio out for those on the audio experience on Friday. It'll be an exclusive 5 to Thrive podcast. If you've not subscribed to that already, guys, this applies to everyone in here tonight. Go to iTunes or go to Stitcher.com. Search for Act on This TV, all one word, and just subscribe completely free. I send like 2 to 3 to 4 episodes a week, depending on what we're doing. So you get all the audio from these broadcasts. You get some exclusive phone calls I make with casting directors and agents and stuff that I just put on there. You get rants from me that I've just come up with, things that are on my mind. And you also get these things called 5 to Thrive, which are these kind of mini personal development episodes that would generally be inspired by something that's happened to me that week. And how how I've dealt with that, or what good has come from something that I'm like, oh wow, this is working for me in my career. Emails, by the way, before I go, I always tell people about you've got to be sending out emails to industry people, and I do this. I don't know why it just fell on this on the 24th of every month. I send my emails out, and I normally choose 4 to 5 casting directors, and I send my email out basically telling what I've been up to. Sending them an updated version of my show if I've got one that's updated, and a link to my spotlight again. But I just keep in touch with these people because it's just nice, isn't it? To send them a nice email and go, listen, hope your week's going well. Here's what I'm up to. Here's a couple of interesting things. Please bear me in mind for anything. I've had more replies today from people that I sent to on the 24th. So that's like 6 days ago, which is pretty good. They don't always email you back straight away. Some of them will never email you back, but you have got to have the faith that they've at least seen it, and there's certain programs you can get that basically you can make sure when someone's opened an email or not. We might cover that on a broadcast actually when I've tested some more out. I've got a very, very premium one that I use for the website, so it wouldn't be suitable for you guys. It's about $100 a month. You wouldn't want to pay that. But there's going to be more like personal license, like single user ones, not for like businesses. I'll research that and show you guys. But yeah, keep sending stuff out is the moral of the story, guys. I'm getting more. I went for months where I never got a reply, and I just carried on doing it, and I'm continuing to do it. And either people are getting sick of me to the point where I better bloody reply to this guy, or they're actually, taking more of an interest in what I'm doing now. But it does work. Ultimately, don't be downhearted if you don't get replies for 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. Just be consistent. Keep showing up. Raise that vibration higher. Make the vibration of your email higher by making it more positive, and trust me, you will get replies back, and stuff will start happening for you. So yeah, I'm definitely going to go now. Keep going. Just want to say thanks to Evan for just completing the little ebook of motivation on the Acts on This website. He's just claimed that. All right, Evan, if you're still listening on here, I can just notice a little notification coming through. He's got the ebook that I created. It's a good ebook. Go to actsonthis.tv/motivation. Download it for free. Right, definitely going now, guys. Appreciate you all. Thank you so much. If you listened this far on the audio experience, good on you for staying with me. Send me a tweet. Let me know what you're doing. At Ross A. Grants, at Act on This TV. Tag me in your Instagram posts. I'm putting loads of stuff out on Instagram stories right now. And I'll be back with you very, very soon. Yeah, I'll see you next Monday night. As long as there's no broken ankles or anything going on around me and I've got to end up in hospital. Touch wood. It's all going to be fine. All right. Enjoy the rest of your week, guys. Love you all. Thank you very much. Bye for now.